All right, AJ, 5 more minutes on the clock for another opt-in. You got an email the other day. Tell me about it.
I, which one? I get so many. I'm so popular. No, I got an email from an organization that I had previously been in touch with. Frame the story a little bit. The individual that I got the email from sent the subject line was something along the lines of like new disc in the bag. Clearly, they had done some research. I play disc golf. I'm a huge fan of it. Kind of obsessed. If you don't play, please play. We need more people out there. But it like hooked me immediately. Subject line, new disc in the bag, looks different from any other email in my inbox. So, of course, I go ahead and open it. And as I'm reading the first line, my initial thought was like, wow, this is really well done. Like, this is a solid email. The individual sort of akined their product to disc golf in a way that made me think like, oh man, maybe this is something that I need. And as I kept reading, I realized, wait a minute, this is really good because I wrote it. And I go back in my search history in my inbox and I look at another email from the same organization where a different SDR had reached out to me. And it was a touch base email. Again, like I said, this is a company that I had been in contact with for a while. We don't have a need for their product, but they keep prospecting me. I tell them to keep checking in because we might have a need. So they did. And this rep used disc golf similarly to get into my inbox, get me to open the email. What I did, and I try to do this as much as I can to give back to the SDR community. I know I'm not the only one who does it, but I actually proposed a rewrite for the original email that I received to let the SDR know, like, hey, it's more than just touching base. Like, there's a way for you to weave in some type of personalization and relevance into this email that would better hook me and get me to respond to you. So I gave him a quick sort of 5-ish minute rewrite that I did for him. He thanked me. We went on our way. I then received this email with the essentially same exact rewrite in it from a new SDR. The big thing that I noticed, and the whole point of this episode, which we're titling Don't Copy, Emulate, is that the message that I gave to the original SDR wasn't just, hey, write this template to anybody who likes disc golf and you'll get them to open the email. It was, hey, you did a good job hooking me with personalization, but you didn't segue that personalization into the actual meat of the message or any type of value that you bring. You just used it to hook me and then went forward with your basic pitch. And so this new SDR who reached out to me copied the email, but then didn't do the thing that I recommended to the first SDR. He just copied it. He didn't emulate what I said in any capacity. He used disc golf to hook me and then just went into his original pitch. So it's very much the case of like, you can teach a man to fish. You know, you give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. You teach a man to fish and he feeds for a lifetime. That's the saying for sure.
Yep.
I taught this SDR how to fish essentially, and then he was like, "Thanks for the fish," and that was it. So there's this mentality that SDRs need to take that next step and have that critical thinking component to go more than just thank you for the fish. It's how can I get more of these fish, right? Alex, I don't know if you have had similar experiences or your take on the topic.
Yeah, haven't had similar experiences. I wouldn't expect a rewrite from me if you do prospect me.
Alex is notoriously mean and he hates all SDRs.
I hate it. No, please send me good emails, but I won't. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I think one of the important things to know is that I think that second SDR that reached out to you thought he was emulating, in the sense that the wording's a little different. It's clearly his own voice and his own style, or their own voice, I should say. I don't know their gender. But clearly they did some of the right things as far as taking the messaging, turning it into their own. What they missed was that connection and the emulating the
continuity is the way I talked about it, but yeah.
The continuity?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they missed that. They were like, personalization, value prop. Here's my take on the personalization and my take on the value prop, but they still are, they're not the same thing.
Missing.
And you need them to overlap. These hand motions work, right? Everyone understands.
Especially if you're only listening to this audio-wise, you totally get what we're doing.
Well, why would you only listen? You know, we both
whatever.
talk with our hands. You're Italian, I'm Jewish. It's all over.
That's true.
But yeah, having that, like taking that extra step to say, okay, not only have I taken this and made my own version of the text with the style, but making my own version of the meaning behind and the flow behind the email is that next step I think you're talking about, so that they can fish on their own and they're not just waiting for you to hand them another fish, essentially.
Yeah, I realize that what I'll do is I'll post screenshots of these emails alongside the landing page for this episode, so you can see what we're talking about, because I understand it's very difficult to conceptualize this whole thing. But there's this idea of continuity and relevance that's, I think, missing in a lot of emails, and SDRs think they can circumvent the need for that by just copying templates that look really good and work. And there's something to be said about taking something that does work and trying it out on your own. I think any SDR worth their salt should be doing that. See what works and try it out. But it's very much a see what works, and then, Alex, like you said, take it and put it in your own voice, but still understand why it works, rather than just hope that copy paste works for my audience, because there are way too many variables that would kind of derail one template working for an SDR and having it work for you. The persona, the universe, the type of messaging that you're using, the product. Like, you can't just copy paste in this business. There's no silver bullets here. There are no shortcuts. You have to understand why something works to then have it work repeatably.
All right, AJ, 15 seconds. Tell everybody about Opt-in.
Opt-in, quick 5-ish minute videos, actionable sales development tips, minimal fluff. You can find us on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on our Instagram, and on the website, demanddrive.com.
All right, 3, 3, 2. Oh, okay, good. 3, 2. You ready? 3. Are you ready? Are you?
I'm ready.
All right,
ready.
all right, SpongeBob, calm down. All right, 3, 2.